104 matches. That's not a typo. The 2026 FIFA World Cup will feature 104 games across 3 countries. For context, the last World Cup had 64. So what happened? Did FIFA just decide more is more? Well, kind of. But the real story is way more interesting than that. Let's go back to basics. The World Cup used to have 16 teams. Then, in 1998, FIFA expanded it to 32. And for almost 30 years, that's how it stayed. 32 teams, 64 matches. Clean, simple, everyone understood it. Then, FIFA looked at that system, looked at all the money left on the table, and said, we can do better. So in 2026, the World Cup expands to 48 teams. 48! That's 16 extra countries getting to show up to the biggest sporting event on the planet. In theory, this sounds like pure chaos. More teams means more games, more groups, more everything. And honestly, you're right. Here's where it gets interesting.
With 48 teams, you can't just run the old group system. The classic format had 8 groups of 4 teams, where 3 games decided who moved on. Simple math, clean brackets. But 48 doesn't divide into groups of 4 that neatly. Well, it does, but then you'd have 12 groups, and the bracket becomes a nightmare to manage fairly. So FIFA tried something. Initially, they planned groups of 3. 3 teams per group, 2 go through, 1 goes home. Sounds fine. Except it isn't. Groups of 3 have a massive problem. The last 2 teams to play always know exactly what result they need. You get collusion, you get boring, calculated draws. Nobody wants that. FIFA eventually figured this out and scrapped it. The new plan? 12 groups of 4 teams. But here's the twist. Instead of the top 2 advancing, the top 2 from each group advance, plus the 8 best third-place finishers. That gives you 32 teams in the round of 32. Yes, there's now a round of 32, which is just the old round of 16 with a different name and double the matches. From there, it's knockout football all the way to the final. Standard stuff. Now, do the math with me. 12 groups, 6 games each. That's 72 group stage matches. Then a round of 32 adds 16 games. A round of 16 adds 8. Quarterfinals, 4. Semifinals, 2. Third place playoff, 1.
The final, 1. Add it all up, and you land at exactly 104 matches. FIFA didn't pull that number out of thin air. It's just arithmetic. But let's be honest about what's really driving this. FIFA's revenue from the 2022 World Cup was around $7.5 billion. More teams means more matches. More matches means more broadcast deals, more sponsorship slots, more tickets, more everything. The business case basically writes itself. Whether that's cynical depends on your perspective, but it's the truth. Here's where it actually gets good for football fans, though. 16 extra teams means 16 countries that have never qualified or rarely qualified finally get their shot. Nations from Africa, Asia, CONCACAF, South America. Teams with genuine football cultures that have just never had the numbers work in their favor. Some of the most electric moments in World Cup history came from so-called underdogs. Now there are 16 more potential upsets waiting to happen. That's not nothing. The tournament also spans 3 countries, the United States, Canada, and Mexico. It'll be the first World Cup ever hosted across 3 nations simultaneously. 16 venues across cities like New York, Los Angeles, Mexico City, and Toronto. Logistically, it's insane. But it also means the tournament feels genuinely continental. The whole of North America becomes the backdrop. So, back to where we started. 104 matches. It's not some random number. It's the product of expansion math, a revised group format, a brand new knockout round, and 3 countries hosting the biggest sporting event in human history. Whether FIFA did it for football or for money, probably both. The scale of what's coming in 2026 is genuinely unprecedented. The real question isn't why there are 104 matches. The real question is which match is going to be the one we're still talking about in 20 years. Because in a tournament this big, something extraordinary is guaranteed to happen. We just don't know where yet. If you want to understand football at this level, the tactics, the formats, the history behind the headlines, subscribe. We break it all down every time.